Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I said previously in my gear video that I'd probably end up doing a quick look video of my Wotancraft Pilot 7-liter bag here. So I figured today we'll take a look at this bag as well as a couple other of the smaller bags that I use. So like most photographers, I seem to have way too many bags. Seems like a lot of us are always on the hunt for the perfect bag, so whenever we see something that we think might be it, we tend to snag it. Today we're just going to look at some of the smaller bags that I use for my large, photo backpacks. I'm a Shimoda guy all the way. Like I said in my gear video, I believe, I've had a lot of photography backpacks over the years, and after I discovered Shimoda bags, my hunt for the perfect photography backpack seems to be over. I really love Shimoda bags. In fact, I kind of wish Shimoda made a bag like the Wotancraft Pilot here, because if they did, I'd be interested in checking that out. But as far as today, we're just going to look at some of the smaller bags. So the Wotancraft Pilot 7-liter is my everyday carry bag. I keep my Fuji X-T30 Mark II in here, usually with a lens attached, or really always with a lens attached, and a couple other lenses, and accessories, extra batteries, SD cards, things like that. And I also keep my iPad mini in here as well. I really love this bag. And I've had it actually for a really long time. I actually got it back when this adjustable shoulder strap here, or the original strap's adjustable too, but this one has kind of the quick release thing, so you can like adjust it on the fly. This strap wasn't even a thing when I got my bag, and then this magnetic lock here was an option. When I got my bag, and obviously I opted for it. But Wotancraft was nice enough to send me, one of the newer shoulder straps here with the quick adjust, and so I could show it here in the video, and thank them for that. But this really nice option to have, and they're including both of these normally now. It's not an option. It's just all the bags come with them. So I really love the look and feel of this bag. It has a nice kind of rustic, worn-in look and feel. It comes in all black as well, but I didn't hesitate to get the khaki version because I think it adds itself well to that rustic, worn-in look. And it's a really nice material, very heavy duty, but yet soft, and it can kind of wrap around your body. Just a really nice bag. So there's two little end pockets here on each end. I usually keep my iPhone in one of them because it's easy to get in and out, and then the other one I might have just some accessories. Let me see, I got a lens pen in here, and I've got, feels like I've got a little light cube in here as well. But sometimes like a mini tripod I might have in there, or really any accessory you can get in there, because it cinches down well enough to keep things in there, but it's easy enough to get things in and out too. So very happy with with the end pockets. And there is a waterproof zippered pocket here on the back as well, and a luggage pass-through. So like I said, this is my everyday carry bag. I absolutely love this bag. I've had it many years, and just really love using it. I can carry just about all of my Fuji kit in here. Not all of it now that I've gotten some little bit larger primes. I've got the Viltrox 75mm and the Viltrox 13mm. The 75 is a 1.2 lens, the 13 is a 1.4, so they're a little bit larger. But like let's see, right now I was carrying the Fuji XT30 Mark II body with the 13mm attached. I've got the 75 in here as well. I've got the TT Artisan 56 1.8 lens, and then on top of that I usually either have the TT Artisan 23mm 1.8 or the TT Artisan 35mm 1.8 on one side, and then I keep a towel down the bottom for wiping off the lenses. My iPad mini is in the back, and then in the front pocket here I've got 3 or 4 extra batteries for the Fuji, extra SD memory cards, some of my business cards, some you know, USB-C cable for charging, things like that. I keep up there. But so I can get, you know, really 90% of my Fuji kit in there. I might just keep, like, if I got the 23 in here, I'll keep the, you know, TTRs and 35 at home, or sometimes I might swap this out for the 23, but I usually have the 56, the 75, and the 13mm lenses in here all the time. Now sometimes when I go out to do some street photography, I may only want to take, like, you know, one extra lens with me, maybe two extra lenses at the most, and this Pilot 7 is, it's actually almost overkill if you're only carrying, you know, that small of a kit. So that's when I may, you know, use one of my other smaller bags. So let's take a look at those. But sometimes I will use a Peak Design everyday sling in the 3-liter size. That's a bag. Actually, all Peak Design bags, for some reason, I never seem to like them. I've had a few Peak Design bags over the years, and I've gotten rid of them. And almost as soon as I got this this everyday sling 3-liter, I almost regretted it. Their bags, it's always like on paper, or when I look at them, I think, oh, that looks really, really nice. And then I get it, and there's always something that I just don't like about the Peak Design bags. This everyday sling 3-liter is very comfortable to wear. Their shoulder straps are usually really, really nice, and you know, this one's no exception. But it's almost, it's hard to describe. It's almost awkward to work out of. The front pocket on it, it's almost impossible to get anything in and out of it. So it's kind of useless. And I don't know, it's a bag that I've used, you know, occasionally, but I don't seem to love it when I'm using it. This Hex Ranger Mini sling bag is, I really, really like the design of it. I just wish it was, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15% larger. It's a really cool design, and I was really kind of intrigued with it, which is why I got it. I really love this front pocket here. It's lined with a real soft material. My iPhone fits in there, you know, in a case, no problem. I have the Pro Max. It fits in there, no problem. And then the front little, you know, admin section here, I guess you'd call it, or whatever. You know, extra batteries. You know, I have a little tracker. You know, SD cards and, you know, things like that go in there. And then in the main pocket, I'll do one of two things. If I'm not worried about weather or anything like that, you know, I know it's going to be nice all day, I may put, you know, two extra lenses in there and then just carry the camera with the lens on it. If I'm worried about weather, or, you know, I know that I may want to put the camera in the bag at some point, normally I'll carry, this is a Viltrox 13mm lens. I'll have that maybe on, and I'll take the Viltrox 75mm lens in here, or, you know, have the lenses swapped because they're kind of about the same size lens. And I can get the camera on its side in there, and then one lens in there. And they're actually both a little taller than the edge here, but it zips up no problem. So that's, you know, and it works great for that amount of kit. The only thing, their strap is a little weird, and it's like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it doesn't really hug your body as well as you would think it would. So that's the only thing I don't really love about the Hex Mini Ranger here, is the strap. But, you know, it is a really good size when you want to take a minimal, you know, amount of kit with you. And I think it's kind of cool looking, and it seems like it's made out of, you know, really nice material. It's a really rugged, you know, rugged looking and feeling bag. So I also have the large version of the Hex Ranger sling bag. This one is in the Arctic camo, what do they call it? Would not have been my first choice for color, for sure, but Amazon has these in, you know, in this size for $19.95 for some reason. And so at that price, I didn't care so much about the color, right? I don't like this one nearly as much as the small one. The small one, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned the color. I think it's called Glacier Camo. So it, you know, it has this large one has all the same features. They're just larger, right? And that's one of the, it just seems like a more flimsy bag. Like when I'm wearing it, the zippers don't, like when you get to the corners, the bag just wants to kind of give in on itself. So not quite as easy to work out of. Really, the only time I use this bag is if I'm taking my Nikon, one of my Nikon Z6 IIs out. I have the vertical battery grip on those. With my Tamron 150 to 500 lens, the big lens, I can get that in here long ways if I reverse the hood. So like if I'm out doing any like wildlife, or say I go to the zoo or something like that, and that's the only camera and lens that I'm going to take for that. So I don't really have any other lenses or anything in here. I do keep my phone in here and my keys, and then in the admin pocket, extra batteries and SD cards, like you normally would. But so that, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it seems a little flimsy, is because I don't have any dividers going this way. But it's still, even with the dividers in there, it just seems too flimsy, whereas the other one is more rigid. The smaller one is more rigid. But like I said, wouldn't have been my first color choice on that for 1995. I wasn't going to argue about the color or anything like that. And it's not an ugly bag or anything. It's just a little odd looking for my taste. But I was surprised that I was able to get the the Nikon Z6 with the grip and that long lens on it in here, zipped up, no problem. And like I said, all I had to do is reverse the hood. So for 1995, can't argue with that. If you are into these, a little patience might help you out, because it seems like a lot of times you'll find them just on like a random sale. Like when I got this one, and as of the making of this video, it's $19.95 on Amazon, like I said. But all the other colors are like the normal price. The little one here, the Ranger Mini, when I bought this one, the Glacier Camo, it was like half price. And the all solid black one was I believe half price as well, but all the other colors were normal price. So it just seems like it's kind of random. So if you are interested in one of these bags, kind of look around, shop around, and like I said, maybe a little patience. Don't order it immediately, and you may find a really good deal on one. So like I said, I mainly only use this for the Nikon with the long lens. I had a Wandered 9-liter sling, one of their Rogue slings that I used before I got that, for the same reason, and I did not like the Wandered bag. I actually had one of the Wandered Provoke 21-liter backpacks. I didn't like that either. I know a lot of people like the Wandered stuff. I love the material they're made out of, but for some reason I just don't. It was awkward to work out of each of those, really. And the Rogue 9-liter sling, for being just a sling bag, it just really seemed large and cumbersome to me. I know a lot of people like the Rogue stuff, and not throwing any shade at those people that love them, just wasn't for me. So once I got this, and it did the same purpose, especially for 1995, it made keeping the Rogue 9-liter sling kind of pointless, so I went ahead and sold that. So another bag that I will use occasionally is this Think Tank Retrospective 7 bag. I got into Think Tank bags a long time ago. I've got a lot of them, and I've always kind of liked their retrospective line that they do. The Think Tank was kind of like the first premium bag that I think that I got into. This bag I will take, like if I want to go out and do some street photography, but I want to take my Nikon gear. I don't want to have to readjust the way I keep, the Wotancraft bags, internals, the way I have it set up. I got it set up for, all the Fuji stuff. So if I want to take the Nikon gear out, which is larger, a little more cumbersome, I don't want to have to rearrange that bag for that. So I keep this bag set up for, the Nikon gear. And I don't go out I feel bad because I don't use this Think Tank bag very often, because it's a really nice bag, and like I said, I really like it too. But I don't go out with the Nikon gear for that kind of photography very often. But when I do, if I get a wild hair at my butt or something like that, I want to go out, this is the bag I'll take for that. It's a little easier to work with the larger Nikon gear, out of a bag this size. So I like really nice material. It's kind of soft but rugged, if that makes sense. It wraps around your body real nice. One thing I will say, I wish Think Tank would do like a quick adjust shoulder strap, like on the Wotancraft. because you know when it's on my back, I like it tighter and up higher, and then when I roll it down around the front to work out of, I want to quickly adjust it to lower it and loosen a little bit. And that's something you can do on the Wotancraft bag very easily. This one not so much, so I tend to keep this one just down a little lower. But other than that, really nice bag as well. So if I'm being honest, I'm almost certain going to end up with the Wotancraft Pilot 3.5 liter bag. I think it's probably going to take care of when I don't want to use the Pilot 7, if I just want to take a lens or two out for a quick photo walk or something like that. Basically what I'm using all these other bags for. I think it's going to be perfect for that. So it's not a matter of if I'm going to get that bag, it's just a matter of when. I just haven't gotten around to ordering one yet. But I think honestly, between the Wotancraft 7 for my everyday carry, and then like I said, I'll get the Pilot 3.5 liter sling, and just use that for when I would just want to take one extra lens or something out there. But when I get one of those, I'll probably do a video on that too. But as usual, if you have any questions or comments about any of these bags, drop them down below. I'll do my best to reply to them. I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today. See you next time.